I was a freelance designer myself for over 10 years, and after having children I was finding it harder and harder to find work to fit around them. Around about the same time we came across a well-known US site called elance.com, and it was very exciting because I thought that I'd be able to find fashion work through it, but they didn't have any fashion work, so we looked again to see if there was anything similar like that, but just for fashion design, and there wasn't, and the Rag Trader came about from that.
Some people might question the quality of those designers, and they may suspect that many of them are still students or they're recent graduates with not much of a portfolio. So how do you guarantee quality of designer?
We don't guarantee quality. What we have is the designers that register, they have to upload samples of their work, and they also have online portfolios and profiles with which they have to put their CVs up and work history. We also have a feedback system which, similarly to eBay, once a project is complete, then both sides have to leave feedback. So if a designer isn't honest or truthful about their experience and a work is then completed, but you can tell that that designer, hasn't had the experience that he or she said, then the company will then leave feedback, negative feedback, which will then affect future work that that designer may do.
Can that not be abused, though, that sort of feedback system?
Not really. It's not really in anyone's interest to abuse it. I mean, if a work's good, so far we haven't had any disputes, thankfully. The designers that we have, they're very, very experienced, majority of them. Yes, we do have some graduates as well, but they're quite honest about that. It doesn't really pay to lie about your work just to get a one-off project, because they will leave bad feedback then, saying that this designer isn't who they say they are.
Some of the biggest names in British retail are using your service, M&S and Debenhams, to name but two of them. How have you managed to attract them to your service?
Well, one of the benefits of using the Rag Trader is the fact that you can get trend reports without having to actually send a designer out there to do those trend reports. As a designer, you would have to go out at least 5 times a year to certain cities to do those trend reports, but because budgets have been cut so much in the past few years, companies can't afford to do that, to send out the designers. So what happens is we have designers located in those key areas. So the companies such as Marks and Spencer's would put a trend report project out there, and the designer that we have in LA will then bid for that project and do it for a fraction of the price. So it saves those companies a lot of money.
One of the attractions of working through a freelance global portal like this is the flexi hours, the flexi time. So would you agree that the Rag Trader lends itself to women in the workplace?
Absolutely. We came about the idea because I was finding it harder and harder to find work after having children. So we wanted to have something where there was a lot more choice for women and men to work, to work for who they want, when they want, because I was based in London during my freelance years, and I would get a lot of calls from agency asking if I would be willing to relocate. I needed the work, but I didn't particularly want to relocate, so through the Rag Trader we've cut that as well.
Esra Young from the Rag Trader, thank you very much.